Hi sewing friends, welcome to my new sewing room. Well, it's the same old one, but different furniture, different layout, a huge upgrade with everything. Done a whole deep clean and I want to share every detail. So come inside and have a peek. I've actually done something I've never tried before, and I spent a couple of hours cleaning this, deep cleaning. I have a bit of an obsession with changing layouts, and that goes for my whole house. I'm always swapping the furniture around because I get bored. And it's also a nice way to do some deep cleaning on corners that you don't have easy access to. So I do a deep clean of my sewing space every week, but there's corners that I really can't access, and I found all sorts of things, dead bugs and dust and all of that there. So I have filmed it. Come and clean my sewing room with me, a small clip with my voiceover, my impressions. And then I'm gonna show you all this detail, how it turned out, and I'm so happy. I'm gonna clean the room in stages because there's so much furniture. So I'm gonna take this ironing board and just get it out of the room so I can clean the floor underneath. Once I start removing things, all the dust starts appearing. I've got this tiny vacuum cleaner that lives in my room. It's just for my sewing room. I use it almost daily, and I've got a tiny rug there that I'm passing it through just to get all the pins and dust out. When I clean the floor, I'm just using a damp cloth. I do it 2 or 3 times in the same area. I rinse my cloth, all that stuff. The dust here is like clay. It just sticks to the floor and it just creates mud, and so the vacuum cleaner only does a little bit of the work. Now that I've got that area, I can sort out this cutting table. I've got some storage space here where I keep threads, and there's a lot of dust there, so I'm just taking this out so I can clean up all these shelves. All the dust, how embarrassing. Now I'm gonna move this table all the way to the other side so I can clean the floor that was under this table. Once I've got that out of the way, I'm gonna remove this light, also taking it out of the room so I can vacuum there, get all the dust out, pass my damp cloth over and over. And now I can deal with this furniture that's on the end that's got the TV and also a lot of buttons and bias tape, also dusting everything, getting everything out, cleaning everything with another damp cloth, a small one. And yeah, there's dust everywhere. It's terrible here. Whenever there's any wind, there's dust coming from the outside because I live in a rural area. Now I'm gonna get that furniture out of the way, also out of the room, so I can deal with that corner. That corner is disgusting. There's so much dust, dead bugs there. I probably haven't done this in about 3 months, so that's about 3 months worth of dust. Imagine if this was a carpet. I'm glad I can get this clean, really clean with my water and cloth. I'm going to the bathroom and rinsing this. Now that this corner is very nice, I'm getting this cabinet that lives on the other side of the room because I'm changing the layout. And this furniture now can go into this fresh, clean corner right there. Now I have this desk that's new, it's an L. I'm gonna move it, but also I'm gonna move this studio light that I have there. And now I can move this desk. I'm doing it by myself. It's quite easy. It's not too heavy. I usually don't need any help moving furniture around. I can do it myself. Once I've got it on the other side of the room, all this other corner is dirty and I can go ahead and clean again. Wipe and wipe 1,000 times. That corner now is going to be the home of the furniture with the TV and all of that. Once that's in place, I can put all the little storage bins back. Once I hold my buttons and my bias tape. And then the only time I need my husband is to move the cutting board, just because it's really flimsy. And that's about it. Then it's just about cleaning the sewing machine table and everything. I hope this was fun to watch. It was fun to film. You know, a little unflattering, of course, doing my cleaning. Not the best look, but hey, who looks great while cleaning, right? The important thing is to be fresh and comfortable. At least it is for me because I'm doing it in extreme heat and everything. But I really love sewing with my room clean and tidy. My mind is the type that can't work if there's clutter around and things accumulating. So usually if I'm going to start a project, I have to do a quick clean. If I know I'm making a bit of mess, I try to clean as I go. I try to never let threads and things just fall on the floor. I'm picking it up as I go and I'm throwing it, and yeah, that's just the way I like it. And doing this clean today was hugely satisfying, not only because I got into corners that I can't access a lot, but because I was able to change my space. Now, when I got all this furniture about a year ago, this was the first layout that I had, and I've changed it twice, 2 or 3 times during the year. I thought it was time to change it again, and here it is. This is the layout that's made me the most comfortable and the happiest. So I think I'm going to stay like this for a little while until I get bored. Hello. I'm in front of a mirror. Of course, I have a mirror. I always have to check for fit. I'm wearing my Frankie polo from Love Notions. It's red. It's got a refashioned collar from one of my son's shirts. I'll try to show you that in a little bit. But I did change. I had a shower after cleaning and I'm just wearing a very comfy outfit, some neat shorts over here, trying to be comfortable today. So let me just go to the door. This is the view from the door. When you look inside, you see my cutting table. This is brand new. I got it about a year ago. I just hadn't shared it. Maybe you'd seen it indirectly, but I hadn't really shared the new cutting table. And it's got some storage space underneath. It's a lot higher, much better for my back than the regular desk I was using before. It's a really good size to cut most patterns. So I'm very happy with the size. In the perfect world, I would love a humongous one, but this is useful and it fits my room. So I'm very happy to have it. Going in this way, we have the cupboard. This closet, I hate the color of the wood treatment here. It's really dark. The whole house is like this. It's a rental, so I can't really do anything about it. And in the past, I used to film videos with this as the background. How ugly. Anyway, it goes right up to the roof. I have fabric in here. If I open a door, fabric will fall out. They're so full and they're not in a great condition for me to share right now. It's quite messy. Up there, I store ones that I don't use all the time. Down here would be fabrics I use more frequently. And I have a fan. It's a really nice fan. It's really silent and we don't have air conditioning. So this is going to be on all the time and you won't hear it when I film. Of course, there's tripods everywhere. There is another tripod because this is a type of filming studio. And there is a painting my mom made. I have it here a lot of the time, but I also take it downstairs for the other area of my house where I film videos, the talking videos, my face. So that goes up and down. And there is my ironing board. This ironing board, I've had it since I got to Brazil and I really love it because it's metal, it's white, it's super easy to see if it gets dirty with dust. I actually take it into my son's bathroom and I just like power wash it with water. So it's really clean right now. I've done it. Down there, there's space for storage and I keep a lot of practical things, notions that I use all the time. So I'm really happy with the ironing board. The cover gets dirty so fast. I just changed it. I put a brand spanking new one on. Sometimes I do film some sewing steps and I get really embarrassed when it's all stained. It gets stained so quickly. So this is a monthly expense for me. I'm always changing it so that it looks semi-decent. This little ironing board for sleeves and pants used to belong to my husband's grandfather. And when he passed away, my mother-in-law gave it to me. He used to sew. So it's a great memory from him. And these are also super hard to find and buy. This one, I really can't change the cover. I can't really change the cover here, so this one's gotten dirty over time. I just wipe it and try to keep it as best as I can. I couldn't have a sewing room without a mirror. This is a very simple mirror. I just bought it in a supermarket and it just helps me check for fit and all those things. I'm carrying this tripod around this chair so that the image is nice and smooth. This is how my new cutting table looks like. It's so nice. It's the correct height for me. Let me show you. When I cut now, I don't have to bend over like I was doing with the other one I had before. So it's at hip level for me. It's so much better. It's about 4 inches higher than the regular desk I used to use. So I'm so happy with this. It's made cutting so much easier. And underneath, I have all my threads. That one there has all the regular thread and the two ones on the bottom have the serger thread. Patterns I'm using at the moment go in that plastic container and I have some projects half baked right there. Now, because I film the layout and some cutting steps sometimes, I have that other light right there. And I have a little board where I pin things. I have a lot of templates in my plans. I'm very visual like that. Very messy. I'm not going to show you what's on there, but it's very practical for me. And in the corner, I have the oldest television in the planet. It's a prehistoric TV, but it still works. And that's what I use as background noise sometimes when I'm sewing and I'm not filming. This furniture is also super practical because it also has some storage space there. Those containers have bias tape and buttons and stuff like that. And that ugly tray has so many cables and chargers. I have to charge so many batteries for the camera, so many things. That's where all the ugly bits go, and that's where I have it all in one tray. I used to have it in a messier way. But because this drawer is close to the cutting table, I have pens and like things I need for when I'm cutting fabric. Lots of tape to assemble PDF patterns, my rotary cutter, pens I use to mark dots on fabric. Everyone asks me what I use, and it's just a regular coloring pencil. So that's all just like desk stuff that I use for cutting. And over here I have other bits and bobs, more got to do with camera than sewing right there. This is the corner where I spend all my time. You wouldn't believe how long I spend in this little area of the house. I mean, I do this more than full-time hours. What I have behind me are acoustic panels there. I have 3 on that corner and it just helps with echo. Iced tea, I'm thirsty. But ever since putting them on the wall, I've felt that the audio in the videos is so much better. So I'm very happy. I think they're discreet, the color isn't too horrible. They had blue ones and black ones. I guess gamers and other people use those colors more. I would have been very unhappy if those were the only options. I was so happy they had a bit of beige there. Anyway, my desk is an L here. It's big, it fits everything I want. I was so happy to be able to purchase this one because it saves so many of my problems. And with one chair, I can edit and sew. In the past, I had to be moving the chair from one desk to the other, and it was just very, very unpractical. This desk is also a much better height for me and my sewing, and for editing it's more ergonomic. So you can see I've got my laptop right here, and this is where I edit. I do all the things that I need to do on the computer right there. As a background for you to know sort of what goes on here, let's say I sewed a garment in about 2.5 to 3 hours. That's my sewing time and filming time over here. By the time I get to the stage of creating it for you, that's triple the time. It takes about 9 hours for me to edit the sewing content, the lookbook, all that stuff. And then I have to film the other bit and put it all together. So yeah, this is a space I spend a lot of time, you know. So I just rotate my chair this way. And then in the same table on the other section of the L is where the serger is and the sewing machine. Here is another tripod that I use for my small camera. The small camera is the one I'm using to film right now because it's got a wider lens and I can show you more. My other camera has got another lens and it would be too close up. So yeah, I've got a lot of cameras. So there we have it. There is where I spend all my time creating all these videos for you. There is my serger. It's right in the middle. You know, I use the serger less than I use the sewing machine, so that's why I've got it here. I also don't film many of the steps while I'm serging because that's super, super boring. When I do have to film things on the serger, it gets really awkward to get the tripod and the camera angle. So that's why it's right there. Over here, I have these 2 little tins that live there that have all the practical things I need right now. On top here, I have needles, different types, presser feet, and on the inside, all the presser feet I want and other little bits and bobs. My little tweezer for when I have to rethread the machine, all very practical. And then this is where all the magic happens. This basic sewing machine, I've had it for more than 7 years. I've only had to get it repaired once, and it was the type of fabric that I used that was just not good for it. But it's been really, really faithful, and I'm glad. Up here on the top, I have this huge light that lights up incredibly bright. That's why you can see my footage really well. I really take care to have excellent lighting in here, but it does give me a headache sometimes. It's really, really bright in my eyes. But I prioritize you and the way that you see the tutorial to my eyes. So yeah, here is a dress that was almost sewn. Later I'll tell you what it is, but I was sewing the neckband and last night we had a power outage because of a storm and I couldn't finish it. I couldn't do the video, I couldn't do anything. So it's there until I get time to come and whip it up and sew it. This is a Ponte Roma. It was gonna be a beautiful dress, but you'll see it later on when I can finish it. This is my tripod that means everything to me. It's got a flexible arm here, and this is where I put the camera. so I can adjust to whatever angle I need. And this comes right up close here when I'm filming. So if you wonder how it is, I'm filming and I've got that right in front there, and I can adjust to whatever angle I want. And that tripod, if I didn't have it, it would be very difficult to do anything. It's also super important to me that whatever method I'm using to film doesn't touch the table where I'm sewing, because there's a lot of vibration when I'm sewing. So this tripod never touches the table, neither does the arm or the camera, so you never get that annoying vibration that you would if I clamped something on the table, for example. I used to do that in the past, but I learned that was not good. Over here, I have a little filing cabinet that I bought in an office sort of place where they sold office supplies. It's so good, it's metal, it's very firm, and I can have things there very, very handy right next to me. Chalk, scissors, all my needles, everything. Anything you could ever want is right here in this drawer. How many external hard drives do I have? Oh my gosh, I have so much content in these. Or my channel, I mean, I'm always buying more. More sewing stuff, and the bottom drawer has camera stuff. Here in this little basket, I have threads that I'm using currently. So whatever colors I'm using right now, they live in there. And then also this is a little storage thing for bobbins. Super practical to have it right there as well. And I have my pins, all that in there. And in that container, more camera things, more tripods, all sorts of things for filming. Remember, this is a type of studio as well. So if you ever wonder how it all happens, this is where it all happens. It's very small, it's very functional, it's very tidy, it's got everything I need, and I'm super happy. Now I just have one rug at the moment. It's there because it's covering a lot of cables and stuff that I need to get there. I used to have more rugs, but I couldn't cope with the heat, so I got rid of them. I can clean easy. I can keep my feet fresh, usually barefoot, and it's super easy to clean. And because of the acoustic panels, and I've got better microphones now, I don't feel that I need the carpets to avoid the echo, so that is huge for me. So this is where I iron my things. I also film things here. That's where I check how things fit. This is where I sew. Everything's handy. This is where I serge. And then I move over here. This is where I edit, all within the same desk. So good. I love it. And a little bit of entertainment, distraction, more storage. This is where I cut fabric, more storage. Everything is so neat and it's great. That's the house over there. My fan throws air at me. All the fabrics are in there. So yeah, this is my little place of the world where I make all the videos for you, where I work, make an income, bring you entertainment. It's all in this one little room. Now, what was I sewing over here? What I couldn't finish and why? Sometimes there are things that are out of my control, and we're going into rainy tropical season right now. I know for a lot of people, when it gets to winter, you get bad weather that you can't leave the house and such, but over here it's the other way around. We get a lot of rain from October to February, around there, almost daily rain, sometimes terrible. Storms just come out of nowhere with wind, and it means power outages. It means power goes out quite quickly. Sometimes by miracle it comes back in an hour or two, but sometimes it just doesn't come back until the next day. And that's what happened when I was sewing these two dresses. All the lightning continuously, basically, and the wind is crazy. Like the rain is just ramming against our windows. Oh, horrible. I have a short one, I have a maxi. This maxi is semi-sewn as well, and this is the Wanderlust dress from Pattern Emporium. I was going to have a video all about it Thursday evening. It's the pattern that's 50% off over at Pattern Emporium. Super lovely dress with a lot of options for sleeves. In fact, for this short one, I was mashing a sleeve from another pattern to it. It was going to be super cute, super amazing. So I'm going to finish these and show them later on, you know, when the power goes, what can I do? I can't sew, I can't edit, I can't see. So I used to get super sad, and I would even cry when things like that happened in the past. But now what can I do? I mean, what can I do? Last night I would have been working until midnight or something, and I just went to bed at 9 p.m. I mean, what else could I do? Power came back around 4 a.m. This morning I took a walk to go to the gym. We've never had a tree come down at our house. Like, our small trees are still there. The ones in the backyard, the fruit trees, they never come down. I don't know, it's just a disaster. Every time there's a storm, I come out walking the next day and so many trees are down. Every time there's a huge storm, the next day so many branches of the trees have fallen off everywhere. Sometimes whole trees come down as well. And so many trees were down. It's always so awful outside after a storm. Leaves everywhere, mud everywhere. Outside my house, I had clothes hanging outside. There was all over the backyard, all soaked, covered in mud. Yeah, it's a bit of a thing. Now, another thing I had over here are 2 refashions that I couldn't finish. I had them cut out and ready. Ta-da! So I'll show you those later. One of those was the Frankie Polo. This is one of the ones I'm wearing right now that I made last year. This is from Love Notions. It's a really, really easy, neat polo to sew compared to others, I find. I have a tutorial all about it. And it's a Feature Friday pattern for today. So if you want to check out these patterns that are on sale, go ahead and have a look. Could be appealing to you if you don't have them before. So check out the Frankie Polo from Love Notions. Check out the Wanderlust dress from Pattern Emporium, very good prices. I'll have them linked down below. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I'm going to be sewing this weekend my Patreon content from every month. I have a deadline to finish it early next week, and what I'm going to be sewing is amazing. It's a new pattern that's going to be released next week, and it's going to be so nice. I can already see it made in my head. One of those things that look harder than they are, and the fit is great, and you can add your own touch to it. I'm going to be sewing this weekend. Maybe you're going to be resting. I do rest some weekends, but most of them I spend sewing. This is my room. I'm so happy. I can smell the cleanness in here. It's amazing. It's tidy. It's perfect. It's going to be so amazing. And when it's in this condition, I feel I'm more productive. Everything's easy to grab, easy to find. I'm happy. A little bit miscellaneous today. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope no more power outages, because it just wrecks everything for me. It just really ruins it all for me. There are 2 videos that I couldn't post because of this power outage, and well, what can I do? You'll see them eventually. See you soon. Bye.